Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. All right, I'm live. Five, four. Oh, am I doing? Five, four, three, two, one. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Level up. I'm just leveling up. I don't know. I'm having fun early this morning. If you guys know what I went through this morning, let me just talk to you. Can I talk to you guys for a second? When sometimes we get some lemons, a lot of lemons. Depends on how tart you want these lemons to be. But guess what? When you get them, just make some lemonade. Just make lemonade. Just sit there and smile and just enjoy it and make it work the best way you can. So, like for instance, I'm going to talk. You're probably going to see me mess with my hair because I got to make it work the best way I can. And if it falls down, it just falls down, and there we go. So we're gonna leave it at that. But listen, good morning, good afternoon, maybe good evening. I don't know what day it is, where you're at in the world, when you're watching, how you're watching, whenever you're watching. How about that? But I am just so excited to bring this beautiful soul to have a conversation with this one right here, because we're on the Fierce and Fearless, till you fear not, you know, my challenge, my Facebook challenge. It's a fitness group. It's just a lifestyle group, right? So I mean, it's more than fitness. It's more than weight loss, even though that's the title. But it's really about a lifestyle change. And in order for you to do any of those things, you have to, fear less. You have to be fierce, meaning you have to have this boldness, this confidence, this readiness, saying, "I'm ready," right? And then you have to fear less. And with the tag, we have you see fear less till you fear not, because the less you fear, the less and less and less and less and less you fear, then eventually you get to a place where you just fear not. And that's when fear no longer becomes a problem. Fear no longer becomes a factor in anything that you do. And then you're able to execute it in the way that's best for you, if that makes any sense. So, good morning. I don't know who's here watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, I'm using StreamYard, so you may have to approve it. So, because I want to see your comments, I want you to say hello and tell me how you're doing out there in the world. So, I just wanted to just kind of do that little brief introduction. But before because I'm looking at her backstage, she's like, "Oh no, it's coming," and so this is so perfect because the topic today is literally about just overcoming your fears. We're in a new world, a new year, a new day. And I can say a new world. It feels like we're in the Mad Max movie, with Tina Turner, and that's probably how my hair is feeling right about now. Tina Turner, like, if you could have saw it not that long ago, and it was kind of all over the place. But hey, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am my brother's keeper. Yes, I know who that is. Hey, Monique. Yes, and we will be featuring Monique on Thursday on Rock Cafe. So woo, 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 woo. So stay tuned with that one. But in the meantime, I just wonder what I do is a period, we feature some amazing people that are in this group who have basically decided to be fierce and to fear not. Blessings, Selena K, Rock Truth Queens. Yes. So I am going to introduce, without further ado, our spotlight from our core group, and her name is Elizabeth. I'm just going to tell you that when, I love this virtual platform because it's allowing us to step out of our comfort zone. It's allowing us to meet people that ordinarily we would never have met. And I'm just so honored and proud to meet this amazing, beautiful soul. And this is actually the first time right before we got on that we had a chance to have a conversation. It's just been through, Facebook, and it's just amazing. It's been amazing. So I have want to introduce to you the amazing, the amazing, the amazing Miss Elizabeth, Miss Liz. Oh, what happened? What did I just do? I don't know who's Hey, you guys. Yes, I'm back. Technical difficulties when life brings you lemons. You just make a whole stinking amount of lemonade. I'm just trying to tell you, like, so this is what pretty much happens, right? This is what happens, and you go with the flow. You make it work the best way you can. So once again, without further ado, right? So how about for introduction, Liz, right? Isn't that amazing? Like it's like the world just froze waiting for you, right? I see you smiling. All right, so here she comes, you guys. Thanks for holding out. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, 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 hello. So I see Selena saying teach. I say Selena said, hey, Liz. So let's see. I am her brother's keeper. Let's see. What is she saying? She said, doing really amazing this morning. She said, so she's in need of this topic today. So man, see, this is definitely something that other people um need to hear. And I'm so glad that we're here for them today. How about you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, go by example, I guess, and face your
Go by
fears.
go by example. Go by example. And I'm so glad, like I said, that people hung tight. Technical difficulties they happen, right? And like malfunction, wardrobe malfunction. Like my hair is doing this, and if you guys haven't figured me out, I'm always playing and messing up my hair on live on set. Because if not, it wouldn't be me, right? So we're gonna leave it like that for right now. I'll fix it later. So in any event, so Liz, tell everybody. Oh my gosh, like what brought you to, first and foremost, what brought you to the Fierce and Fearless Weight Loss Challenge?
Mm, the cha Yeah, so, it was through you. I was, I guess, first looking for someone who, was looking to grow while being grounded. And that person was you. And then through you, um, I was also looking, so I said grow, and there are like so many different areas that one can grow in. Like they say, grow in relationships, grow in, mindset, grow in health and energy. And I decided that, um, after what happened, like, so this year I had like a crazy, I guess, physical breakdown. And I realized that that's what I need to put my focus on. And so, it wasn't necessarily like I have to lose like X amount of weight, per se, but I knew that my focus and attention needed to be on like my full body and my energy. Yeah. And so, yeah, like in the middle of 2020, something crazy happened and I hurt my back. Like I don't have any wonderful story, to go with it. It was just, um, I think with the pandemic, poor posture, everything was kind of like, hey, it's 2020. Why not like add this to it too? And I was pretty much bedridden, after an event. And then I could not get out of bed, severe pain. And I'm like, okay, now is a good time for me to pay attention to this. And so, yeah, I'm wanting so desperately to not just talk about, oh yeah, I need to do this, but actually making the changes. I love that you are willing to come alongside everyone, um, and kind of like hold our hand and say, yeah, this is what I'm doing. You can choose to do this too, and let me model this for you. And so, yeah, like I can plank now. And so, yeah, just different things like that. So,
So now we're waiting to see your plank as a picture or going live. So baby steps, baby steps. I know, I know. So this is so stinking awesome. So real quick, I want like because let us know like who you are, like who's Liz. Like I'm calling you Liz, like I already know you, but it's Elizabeth. So but like tell everybody like who you are.
that's a good question. Um, yeah, so I think, who am I? So I'm a mother of two. Um, I come from I have an Indian Christian background, and so that plays a huge role in like who I am and how I see the world. And yeah, just processing that. Who am I? Um, I'm a daughter of the king. Like that's who I, you know, tell myself all the time. I tell my daughters, like, don't forget who you are. You are a daughter of the maker of the universe. And so that's like my first and foremost identity. Um, and yeah, and then like all the other things like come under that. You know, I don't know. So I am a homeschooler. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I'm just wanting to grow and be who I was made to be. And I just love um I was just thinking, with the turn of the year, you go back and you reflect and yeah, I think I'm just like ever pursuant of wanting to just be who I was made to be. And it's a journey. When I was younger, I was just so desperate to get to the goal. Now that I'm getting older, I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to get to the goal so fast yet, but like, let's enjoy the journey. Um, and yeah, just to continue to grow. So yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what else, but
No, that was beautiful. That I mean, and I love it because it just literally it's just like, because people ask, people usually, oh, so what do you do? We can just blurt out, oh, I do blah 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 blah. But because that's something, right? It doesn't identify you, as a person. Like, so when people ask, like, who are you? I mean, I think that's what people should do when you meet someone. Says, hi, like, who are, like, tell me about yourself, like, 'cause I want to know about more about you, not what you do. I want to know who you are, right? Because that is more, to me, that's more important, to understand who you are as a person. What you do is what you do, but
right.
it's you as the person, because that's your character, that's your essence, that's the things that have to be magnified, right? That's the things that, to allows you to become fierce, to become fearless until you fear not, right? So it just really truly it spoke volume. So I'm just so like glad that you were able to tap into that. I know it's probably like, wow, nobody ever asked me that. But it's important because sometimes we have to ask ourselves that, like, Carolyn, who am I? Like, you know what, Carolyn's still trying to figure this out sometimes, but it's always evolving and it's always changing. Oh, speaking to that, share with everyone what you like before we got on, like what you shared with how we got connected. So I need people to really like tune into what you're about to say. This was really pretty dope. When you
Um,
said, because we met on a different platform,
mhm.
but you said something that you saw. You were introduced to me somehow,
Oh,
across my path
yeah,
somehow.
yeah. So yeah, I had mentioned that yeah, all of a sudden 2020, I had time to think about the fact that I wanted to grow. Um, but I just didn't want to be like, like there's so much jargon, like so much stuff out there that I wanted to be very intentional. Like I knew that I wanted, if I'm going to grow, I just want to grow where I'm planted. And that means I'm not changing like my core identity. I don't know if you were planted to be, I don't know, a tulip. Well, then don't try to be a daffodil all of a sudden. Be a tulip and be a really great tulip. And so, um, I was looking for people who was kind of wired that same way. And so, yeah, so I was intentionally going out looking for people who desired to just be the best tulip or be the best that they are, but be grounded. And so, yeah, and so that's how I found you. I think through the group that I guess that we were on. And I saw a video. I wish I could remember. It had a catchy title to it, but it was an interview that you had done many years ago. Um, uh, and yeah, so you were just still talking about magnifying your essence. And so I guess what I was surprised at is that video, like I think I said, like, the Carolyn Wilson in that video seems very different from the Carolyn Wilson that I get to speak to right now, but your message is still the same. And you're just grounded, just digging deeper into the same message, but you're growing, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
love that
does.
about you.
Yeah. I just thought that was so when you said that I was like, oh wow. So that just goes to show that you never know, when when God places something in your spirit, right? And a lot of times we hear it, we feel it, we know it, but we ignore it because of this thing called fear, right? And that's why, I've been here to say, I'm the fearless magnified educator. That's one of my, because I got many hats, right? But really truly being fearless, because we always negate the message that comes to us, that innate feeling, like something is like, when it's things that we're seeking. So, like, for instance, Liz said she was seeking to be grounded, to seek out people that she can see, and to be in a place and space that's going to help allow her grow, because she was in a place and space where she was ready to grow, right? And I'm a firm believer that everyone that's supposed to be on that journey and path, you will meet along the way. The path will cross. You may whiz past them and then go further down the miles later. You'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember seeing, like, ever on a trip and you see a car and it's like, wow, something about that car. Tons of cars. And then you're driving miles and miles and miles away, get off at another exit, something. You see the same car. Wow, we're going the same way, right? That's kind of how this has happened. You said you saw something from me. Like, me? Really? How about that? From years ago. And then here I am popping up on this other group that we're on. You're like, I remember her,
Yep.
type of thing. And I just think that is so amazing that that it spoke to you. And so, and even with everyone who's listen, I'm a firm believer. There's never a coincidence. There's never a happenstance. There's never an accident. Everything happens in divine order. Point blank. Period. Point blank, period. Because I do remember you reached out to me. And I know, and first and foremost, and I want to say this publicly because I know that's a fearful thing, to have to reach out to someone that you don't know and to pour out. It's like, this is the place and space that I'm in. And okay, just to send it, okay, I did it. Now, if I don't hear from you, okay, but I did it, right? Everything is baby steps. So I remember you reached out to me and I was like, hey. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And so now it was kind of like all of a sudden on my feed, now I started seeing you more on my feed in this group that we were in. And then I started to see your growth because we had to do lives. We had to, it was challenging ourselves. It was a challenge, right? Just like we're in this group, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to ourselves to become better, to grow. Yes, it's a weight loss journey, right? Challenge, but it comes with so many different elements. It comes with mind, it comes with body, it comes with spirit. And the spirit is your essence, it's really who you are, it's your growth. It's your personal growth. It's how we all evolve, how we all adapt, how we all change when circumstances comes our way. Like this thing happened. All of a sudden, it just went. I just went to introduce Liz, and then it went. Eh. And so But here's the thing. I kept talking. I didn't know if y'all heard me or not. I just kept talking, and I was still saying, this is all part of the lesson. I'm looking at a blank screen. I didn't know if y'all can hear me, see me, whatever. But I just kept going and that's what life is about. Things happen, but we have to keep going. We recognize that there's an issue in front of us. So I'm like, okay, let me plug up, let me redo this. But I kept talking, I kept going. I didn't like, oh my gosh, like, and that's what fear does to you. It takes you off of your path. It takes you, it creates chaos, it creates confusion. And when that happens, you can't stay focused to whatever direction that you're going. You're already on the right path. And oh, I got a story behind that. Oh, we're going to get into that in a second. But back to this whole divine order. Oh my gosh, they are going crazy on here. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a second. So, hey, okay, I got Evelyn on here. We got Yetta. Oh my gosh, all the way down from Florida. What's going on? So listen, so this is people are watching. Yes, that's what Elizabeth's saying. She said connection. So I'm my brother's keeper. She says connection through what It is we need secures the level of our growth. That is yes. Then we got do it afraid. Yes. Okay, wait a minute. We gotta show that again. Do it afraid, but acknowledge truth of fear, yet do not let it cripple you. Oh my gosh, you be coming, you guys. See, didn't I tell you that this was going to be needed? And so
Yeah.
here's the thing. I reached out when we started. I was like, Liz, I want to feature you. And you're like, no, wait a minute, wait a minute. This was like back in what, October, November, one of the two. And you were like, no, okay, December. I'll be ready. Give me time to think about it. And then December came and went. And then I was like, okay, all right, you know what? I'm like, it's the new year. So guess what we doing? So now I gotta hold you accountable. And you're like, okay, all right. See, now sometimes, do it afraid. You gotta just do it anyway and don't have time to think about it. Because what did I reach out to? It's okay Tuesday. You're like, this nope, it's Tuesday. Like we're I'm holding you. You know what? I'm holding my hair accountable. I'm just gonna hold it up, y'all. We're gonna do the Beyonce, hold it up. My
Yeah.
God, I don't know what's going on with my hair. So with that whole divine connection and things and timing, can you read? Because I want people to understand this part too. When we got on, you said, okay, this must be meant because there was a song that you heard last night, right?
Hmm.
And then you read me the words. So we won't tell people the song, but just read the words to everybody.
Okay. Yeah, it was crazy. I heard it last night and I heard it again just a few minutes before. So anyway, I was just thinking like, oh my goodness, what is gonna happen? Oops. Oh, I
Keep
hope my hair,
going.
but okay. Um, so yeah, so I'm like, well, what am I gonna talk about? I don't even know. Like, I don't know what the questions are. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. But the song came up, and it essentially, I'll just the paraphrase it. It goes, "If I told you my story, you would hear hope that wouldn't let go. You would hear love that never gave up. You would hear life, but it wasn't mine. If I should speak, then let it be of the grace that is greater than all my sin, of when justice was served and where mercy wins, of the kindness of Jesus that draws me in. Oh, to tell you my story is to tell you of him." And so I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to speak. And he goes, if I were to speak, like, I want it to be of grace. And so, yeah. And so I have to move forward. I can't be fearful. I can't be quiet about all the good things. So yeah. So I'm moving forward and I am, I guess, telling you, yeah, answering any questions, telling you bits of my story. But my story is of him, of Jesus. So.
With the whole um, letting you speak by yourself front and center. You're like, whoa, that was so important. I needed people. You're like, whoa, what just happened? No, I know I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose because I needed people to hear that because that was so prevalent. Plus, I needed to fix my hair. But really, I needed for everyone to hear that because I also wanted to grab the shirt. So this was now watch when I say divine invention and order and everything and timing. That's the other piece, you guys. Timing. You have to be patient. See, we know about the write a vision and make it plain, or whatever you think about, you bring about, and we think things and we put things into existence by our thoughts, right? And these are the things that we want to manifest within our life. So we're ready for a change, we want something. But the second part to that scripture that people don't understand is about the timing, right? That's the next part. You put it out there what you want, but then we have to be patient with grace, right? And wait for the timing. So, like I said, you have this car, you've seen this car, and you're driving, and the next thing you know, you're at the same rest stop. Like, I remember seeing that car because it had a unique little trinket ink on it had a bumper sticker or something. So I remember that particular car. Out of all the cars, man, we just happened to be at the same rest stop miles and miles and miles after so many different exits away. What's the odds of that? So this morning, as I'm getting things together, like I said, when life gives you lemons, whole bunch of sour lemons, you just make the sweetest lemonade ever. I will transparent moment, got up late this morning because my alarm on my phone did not go off because my phone decided to just not want to work. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then it just kind of catapult, it just snowballed, but I had to shift it and stop it. Now, even with coming on here, because you know what I said, oh gosh, I could have been like, ah. So, and I knew that I had to meet with Liz to jump on to get everything started. And so I was like, okay, I got to throw something on. I was like, okay, I can't, you guys see me. I try to get on and get all like, and I said, whatever. So I grabbed this shirt and I said, oh, this will be good because it ties into, being fearless. And then I thought about it and I was like, nah, I'm not going to because, that's not my brand. I said, but I'll still give her a shout out. Shout out to Alyssa R. Jones from Survivors with Voices. But I grabbed her shirt and I said, oh no, that means I can wear my shirt, which is, fear less until you fear not. But watch this. So after Liz read what she just read to everybody, I was like, oh my gosh, let me show you the shirt that I almost wore. And I said, you know what? We're going to talk about that. And watch this, you guys. Behind every mask, there's a story.
Yes.
Make this up. Behind every mask, there's a story. And as Liz said, you have to tell your story.
Yeah.
Behind every mask, there's a story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for us to, as I like to say, we're in this pandemic. And as I'm sitting here and I just happen to have my little sparkly mask right here. See, what's been happening? Now we have permission to wear our mask.
Mm.
We have permission to hide behind our mask.
Mm.
I'm gonna let that sink in. Now, let our glasses fog up and everything. Now, in this new world that we're in, we now have permission to wear our mask. And just like what we do with ourselves, we don't just get a regular old mask. We gotta get a nice sparkly mask. We gotta judge it up. We gotta make this thing look all pretty. Because if I'm gonna wear a mask, I'm gonna make it look good. I'm gonna have a saying on it. I'm gonna advertise. I'm gonna just have, put something on it so everyone can see my mask. Isn't that what we've been doing? Isn't that what we've been doing?
Yeah.
We've been doing that all our lives because of this thing called fear. Fear is literally, I've heard this years ago and it stuck with me so profoundly. I don't remember who's the originator of this saying, but I remember hearing it from a minister, and then I heard it from a motivational speaker, and it's just resonated with me all my life. And that's fear, false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
False evidence appearing real.
I
And
was just
so,
I
go
don't mean
ahead.
to I don't mean
No,
to interrupt,
go for
but
it.
when you were talking about wearing the mask, I was just thinking like and you were talking about wearing pretty masks with the glitter and stuff. I was just thinking how like sometimes it's actually easier to glitz up or decorate the mask, and the hard work and the real fear resides with having to do the internal work, like the work on the because that is hard, and we carry that with us everywhere we go. Like we can't run away from like our who we are. And so so I sometimes wonder if the real fear is, oh, is it speaking in public, or is the real fear um doing the work inside and then sharing it with others? Because like yeah, like sharing is all like we were born to share, like we can't help but share our thoughts and ideas with others. But I wonder if the real fear is the I wonder if the hard work is the internal, not the how pretty of a mask can we wear? But
That's it. That is it. Yetta says, yeah. Look. Wait a minute. They are chiming in. Yup. Yetta says, that is it. That is it. And guess what's on the back of the shirt? So I'm glad you said that. See, you guys, see everything is within. Hold up, we're gonna pop this up here. Everything's within divine order. Because we didn't I say this is going to be a conversation. We're just gonna let stuff flow. And I did speak. I said we're gonna go for about 30%, but we're gonna just let it flow. So this is the message. This is the message for you guys. So so this is I showed you guys in front of the shirt. Look what's on the back of the shirt. Remove the mask. Removing the mask. It's time to remove the mask. It's time to remove all the glitter, all the sayings, all the decorative things that we are covering because we don't want to do the work inside, right? Because that should illuminate even with the mask that now we're forced to wear, right? It's and that's your essence. That's all about magnifying your essence. Oh my gosh, she's like totally mind blown. I know, right? Isn't it? Like, and I'm just grateful to Spirit for dropping this jewel and dropping this nugget because I never know how things are going to roll. I never know how things are going to work. Wow, just be authentic. Exactly. Like this just of course, I don't know about y'all, but I got masks like everywhere. I got masks in my car. I got masks because you never know when you got to grab a mask. And this mask was just sitting right here. Like it was just sitting right here. This was not planned, you guys. Like this is just how it just rolled. Like when she said that, so I went to grab it, and then I was like, no, I'm going to wear my thing. And I said, but I'll still give her a shout out. So once again, one of my mentors, right? Because we all have mentors, and it's Alyssa R. Jones, the survivor that flies. She got a whole bunch of stuff, survivors with voices, and I'm one of her brand ambassadors. So, and I've been connected with her oh my gosh, for the past maybe 6, 7 years. So, I mean, everyone has a person that adds to their growth. And I believe that when you're connected with a person, if there's no value added to the person, if they're not giving you anything that will allow you to grow in your own authentic way and time, just by being there and showing you and just living their life, their example. And like Liz said, the person may be different, but the message is the same. That's what you need to pay attention to because we can change things up all the time. We can put on this mask. I wish I had some more masks in front of me, but I don't. But we can change them up, right? Like I said, I know I have about 5 different masks in my car. I have a plain black one. I got a white one. I got a burgundy. I got glitter ones. And the thing is, I was against the mask, and I was against when we were first making these things all pretty. And now, look, I conformed and I adapted. Now I'm wearing sparkly mask.
Yep. But you get to still speak with the mask, and so it's the words that come out that matter. So
Exactly. So Yetta says, oh my gosh, she said, not perfect, just real. And that's what it is. We have to just be real. We just have to be real. Thank you, Yetta. Not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. You can always come back and watch it later because it's being recorded. So Yetta said she had to go, and it's been positive. By extension, stay encouraged. So she's telling you too, stay encouraged. And I guess for all of us, stay encouraged. So with the whole fear, fearing less until you fear not. So right now, I'd be remiss to not talk about the challenge. Right now we have a plank challenge, right? It's a 21-day plank fast challenge, and in that challenge, we are challenging ourselves to do a plank. A plank is this weird exercise that's really just your body. It's you going against yourself. Did y'all just hear that? It's you going against yourself. So Liz just said with the mask, it's about really the internal things, and you are going against yourself. So let's take this plank. And see, when we do things, everything that I tell people in this group, change can happen. And sometimes change happens immediately, right? Because we think it happens immediately. It was already in the works. We just found out about it immediately. It was already in process. So back on this road trip, I know some of you guys have had it because I've had it. You're on a road trip, you're driving, and then especially when you had the old car back in the day and the station wagon going down south or wherever we had to go, or on the country road, and then the radiator goes, or you run out of gas. But guess what? It didn't just all of a sudden the gas didn't just run out. All of a sudden the water didn't just evaporate from the radiator. It was building to that. It was gradually making its way for that sudden change,
Yeah.
right?
I didn't all of a sudden hurt my back. It was a long time coming. And so,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So this is literally how things happen to us. We see the change, and then we want to change, but we want that change immediately, not realizing that things have to be put in place and it has to work up to that immediate change, right? So this plank challenge, the goal was to get to it in 21 days because it takes 21 days to create a habit. So we got to start with there. Take the first 7 days is what gets you started. Because we know we have my challenge in there. We had the first 7 days for those who started in the beginning. And then, then we have 30 days. And then we have, but it's 21 days. 21 days is significant as well because 21 days allows you to create a habit. And then you grow within a habit and you do it in bite-sized chunks. And I always say, do you eat an elephant? One chunk at a time. You don't look at the whole big massive thing like, oh my gosh, I have to lose this weight, or oh my gosh, I have to change my lifestyle. Oh my gosh, I have to change the way I eat. Oh my gosh, I have to change the way I am as a person. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That's the fear. False evidence is false evidence, right? Because we're already putting this parameter, this paradigm of, oh my gosh, it has to be perfect or it has to be like this, and then we start panicking because it doesn't look like that right now, right? So we want to be able to take the mask off and all of a sudden be exactly the way that we envision. Well, eventually one day when you take it off, that will happen. But that's because there was some stuff working on the inside to make that happen.
yeah.
You
Yes,
guys.
so much. I mean, like consistency, like doing, it's a good thing, but do I choose to do it? Or will I like forget about myself? Like, even though I know it's a good thing, I may choose not to do it. And that's what's my thought behind it? Who am I forgetting? And what I love about the plank challenge, what I love about it is there was a time not too long ago that I couldn't do it. Like I was, like I said, bedridden. And I realized then, like, I'm not going to take for granted that I can walk or not take for granted that I can move without sheer pain. But the plank is also intended to like work on our core. And so again, like I think way too much at times, but when I do the plank, I keep thinking and focusing on my core, like my core identity, like who I am. And so let me continue doing that for that reason. So
And see, y'all thought it was just a plank. There's a method behind the madness. Yes, it's your core of who you are, your essence. You're magnifying and you're building it little by little, 5 seconds at a time, like little bite-sized chunks. So the goal was by the end of, we started off at 20 seconds. And I had to I had to count it to make sure I'm like, where are we starting at? Because the goal was to get to 2 minutes, the whole 2 minute plank. You know how much like one is endurance, that's discipline, right? That's discipline, that's allowing yourself to grow, right? To challenge yourself to say, there's no way I can do this. See, that's that false evidence coming and it appears real. So, I know there are some people who are incapable of doing a plank. I'm aware of that. But you are very capable of doing something. So there's different variations that we have for this challenge. And that's how it is in life. There's different variations to your own personal growth. This is about personal growth. If anything we learned from last year, like I said, it forced us to put on this mask. It forced us to decorate our mask because we didn't want to just be plain. We couldn't just blend in. We have to, sparkle and shine and be different and allow everyone to see me, see me, see me, see me. But we're not really allowing people to see me behind this mask, right? So one of the other things, and so like I said, with the challenge, I'm gonna put up where we guys can come and join us. You can still do the planks on your own if you want to, but you can always come and join our group where it's a growing, thriving group of individuals who are just looking for support. But I really want to point out, and this is once again, this is my book. I don't know if you guys know my author, Magnified Thoughts. And this might have been around the time that you may have seen me when I was doing all this stuff because I just needed to share. I just need to share. And the message has been consistent. And I'm glad that you're saying that. But one of the things that as I was through over the years, I journal, I write, I think that, just kind of get too deep into stuff. Like you said, like a plank it's more than a plank. It's very like, like we start getting all like, oh, it's the Capricorn in me, I guess. I don't know. But it really is. It's about us building our own endurance. It's strength because you are strong and it has nothing to do with your physical strength. It's your physical strength, your mental strength, your spiritual strength to allow you to know that you can do this. Because I can tell, and I even shared, and I always as transparent as I can be. I was plunking, not a plank, plunking. Like I couldn't lift my body up. I would literally get on the floor and my face would be down on the floor. It's okay. Is this a blank? Like I can't lift my body up. And when I got challenged, when I was on Dr. Oz, and then I guess because, my energy was just like so like, up there, and they were like, okay, they picked me to go out to do the exercise, to do the demonstration. Like, well, they just picked me. And I was like, okay. And I didn't know what I was picked for until they said that I think it was 10 of us, I think, that we were going to go out and exercise with with the celebrity um um trainers and with Dr. Oz. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden I went, you want me to do what? Because I wasn't exercising. Like I did start losing weight, but I was exercising, but it was very, 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 very minimal. Like sixth grade calisthenics, raise your hand, touch your toes. Well, touch my knees because I couldn't reach my toes. So put your arms out and do little circles, little circles we used to do. The windmill, out and then cross over, stuff we did in gym. And when they asked me to do it, and then fear set in for a second, and then I just had to face the fear and do it anyway. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And so then I just had to make it fun. And I knew I couldn't plank. I knew I couldn't do knee ups. I knew I couldn't do anything. And then they had the nerve to have me front and center. I was like, okay, Carolyn, we're not gonna make a fool of ourselves on national TV. So the adrenaline, I don't know what happened, but I was able to do everything. It wasn't the cleanest, it wasn't the prettiest, and I shared the video. It's the most funniest thing ever. I had fun with it. And because I had fun with it and I didn't think about it, I did it. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I did it. Yes. Like, then I proved to myself, like, wait a minute. I was creating my own reality that I couldn't when I actually could. It didn't have to be picture perfect. It just had to be done. Now, don't get me wrong. Did I pay for it afterwards? Oh, yeah. And I tried to do another plank and it wasn't happening. But then I started challenging myself. I said, wait a minute, I did it. So if I can do it, if I did it then when I really could not do it in my mind, then I know I can do it. So now, granted, I have some people tell me, why can I already do a 2-minute plank? Well, then start where you're at and add to it. The whole purpose is to challenge yourself, right? Because it's you. We have to continue to grow. We have to always evolve. So back to this fear. I had to pull out is move beyond. So one of my chapters is move beyond your fear. And I'm going to break down what fear meant to me. And this was in a time and place and space when I was really processing coming out of a domestic violence, a really bad one, domestic violence relationship. And that was the one I think that was really detrimental to my demise of my spirit, of my core, because it broke me down to non-existence where I didn't know who I was. I was looking in a mirror and didn't recognize my own reflection. Like that's where I was just going. And I remember writing this, and this was literally, from the heart and what it meant to me. And I put it in my book, and I had to go find it because this was a different place and space when I wrote my book, because that was actually processing, readdressing the other past trauma, which was sexual child abuse. So for those of you who follow me, I'm a survivor of sexual child abuse, and my father was my abuser. And this is literally how I connected with Alyssa, because we have some things in common by being, molested as children. And we are more than our story. We stand on our story. We are not our story. We are more than our story, right? And so I had to go back and find my writings. And I said, fear is being when you're in fear. So I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna hold on to this for a second before we go. And I want everyone to just really listen to these words. Fear is being forever in bondage. When you fear something, you keep yourself from moving forward. You keep yourself from growing. You keep yourself from doing what you may think is impossible because the fear keeps you back. When you're forever in bondage, you exile yourself from the world. That means you don't want to be seen. You want to stay hidden. You don't want anyone to know anything about you. You just want to just kind of fizzle away. You see, when you exile yourself, then you're not that light. You're not doing what your divine purpose, what God has placed you for, whomever higher being you serve. You're diminishing your own light. You're turning your light out. You're not growing into the purpose, because everyone has a purpose. There's a plan. There's already a destination for us and a path that we're supposed to take. But a lot of times we deviate and we go off because we're looking at someone else's sign, someone else's direction, but we need to stay on our own.
Yeah.
And so because of that, when we exile ourselves from the world, it's because we are ashamed. We are ashamed to speak and acknowledge whatever past may be that's allowing us to stay in bondage. I just shared with you what mine was. For you, it could be like you said, you're paying for your back, and you probably felt, when you're on your back, and as a mother, it's like, I'm no good to anyone. I can't do the things that I wanted to do, right? And as a mother, as a caretaker, as a provider, that's our role. And if we don't have that, then who are we? Back to that question, who are you, right? And everyone else can fill in their own blank. It doesn't have to be what mine was. It doesn't have to be what it is. But there's something, right? There's something that we don't want to speak about.
Yeah.
So we hide it. We put on a mask. And because of that, because we're ashamed to acknowledge and speak our truth, that we become resentful of ourselves, and we're resistant to a better life. I
Yeah.
mean, that
It's
that's literally what the whole definition of fear is.
yeah.
Go ahead, speak. I see this resonating with you.
Oh yeah. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, that's
Um,
fine.
but yeah, it's also our perspective, right? Like like I kind of grew up like with fear of this, like perfecting, wanting to do things the right way, following the rules and stuff like that. Um, but so as you're speaking, this verse just keeps coming into my head like over and over, and maybe I should say it. It comes from Isaiah. It says, "Fear not, for behold, I have called you by, or fear not, for behold, I'm with you. I have called you by name." And so I grew up thinking like, oh, I'm supposed to be fearful of all of the rules and fearful of like the consequences of if I don't be perfect. But that is so contrary to who we are supposed to be and who we are made to be. We're actually made to be, says again, it says, do not fear, right? And why do I not fear? Well, for two reasons: because I'm not alone, maker of the universe is with me. And not only am I not alone, but I have been called, right? And I've been called by name. So, Carolyn, like I have called you. Um, so it's that intimacy and it's that purposefulness. And so I know, like for myself, like I'm, a lot of rewiring happening in my head, like as I journey and as I grow. To finding my true essence, right? And once you find that, and I love when you say magnify your essence, I kind of see like this shining light is kind of what I see. And I don't, and I want to make sure, I'm not trying to take your message but at least for me, like when I hear that, I am reminded that it's only through the cracks, it's only through the brokenness that light can shine through. And so, like it so acknowledge those cracks, right? Allow it to be there for the moment so that light can come in and heal you, like right where it needs to be healed. And so, and it takes time, and I don't think, like I said, I don't know if I said it live or before, but there was a time where I was just so eager to like get to perfection, like get to the end of my, like reach my goals. And I'm realizing now that like the fact that I'm journeying, and the fact that I'm learning and the fact that I'm growing and that I still have opportunity to receive and extend grace, I'm winning like every day. I'm reaching my goals I mean, that's the goal, like to be able to do it, for as long as we're given that gift. And so, and yeah, and so I appreciate you reminding me over again, like what it really means that we don't fear, and these are the reasons why we don't have to fear. Yeah, good stuff.
Great stuff. Like I am literally crying right now. I am just so like you guys got to see this behind these glasses. Like I'm literally like, mm, and then you wept, right? When it's like, whew, I'm trying to get myself together here. Like you don't really know how much that just meant to me. When to hear you repeat my words, to hear you repeat the words that Spirit has given me, to be able to speak authentically, to speak, my truths, and to have that resonate with so many people, and for you to literally repeat it.
And it's not now. It's not like when you've got yourself put together. It's not when you're Carolyn Wilson 2021. It's always like it was
Always,
that
always,
dark moment.
always,
It was
always, always.
yeah. It was even in
And,
that
and,
moment when you were looking at or when I look at myself in the mirror and I forget who I am, even then I am being called, and even then the truth that I fear not, because I am not alone. I have been called by name. And so, yeah, those are truths that I forget often. But that doesn't mean that those truths don't exist.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so when you look back at this, because I know you're going to go back and watch it again, and I know I always go back and watch stuff, but I want you to, the part when you were talking about, to magnify your essence and, through the cracks and the light shining, I really want you to really pay attention to what was happening around you. It's going to be a moment. It's going to be a moment of clarity for you because it kept happening. I wanted to bring it up, but you'll see it when you watch the replay. It's like it just kept popping up. The illumination kept popping up. And that was another moment for me where I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Because what the spirit has told me, because every year, I'm always asking, like, okay, so what's the focus for the following year? What's the direction? What's the guidance? And like last year, it was about solid foundation. And solid foundations pretty much is literally, breaking down the oh, I do have another mask. How about that? you know, we gotta do what? Be magnified. With everything we do. Be magnified with everything we do. Because I was looking for
So I
tissue because
can't
I know.
hear you, Carolyn.
You can't
I don't know
hear
if you can
me?
hear me.
I can. I can. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No?
You can hear me.
I
I
can't hear
can't hear
you.
you for some
Oh,
reason.
okay. Everyone out there,
Hmm.
can you hear me? Anyone? I am my brother's keeper.
Some of
Can
those
you let me
lemons.
lemons? More lemons. Let me plug this up and see if this works. Let me see. I don't have another way to plug this up. So can you guys hear me out there? I don't know. You said you still can't hear me. Let me you remove you and then bring you back. See if okay, so let me come back. Can can you hear me or still can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Still can't hear me? Okay. So for those who are out there in the world, oh, I heard you.
I was sending a comment. Should I leave and rejoin, or
You still can't hear me?
can you hear me? I can't hear you right now.
Oh wow. Okay. So leave and come back.
Leave and rejoin.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know, like I said, if anyone heard can hear me. I can. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I don't know what happened. So that might have been her side. So, once again, it's back to okay, now we have these moments, right? We have these moments of clarity. We have these moments of, uncertainty. We have these moments of with our mask. And it's time for us to remove those masks. It's time for us to be fearless until you fear not. And so, as Liz was saying, it's time for us to recognize that you've been called by name, right? To whatever your greatness, whatever your higher power, whatever it is you're supposed to do. Like I said, last year was about solid foundations and growing into, okay, so that's good. So you can hear me now, right? You can hear me now? Okay, good. So last year was about solid foundations. And what that meant was, it's everything that you've already built for yourself, whatever that was. It was time to break it all down and rebuild it. And look what happened last year. The world stopped. It made us break everything down and have to rebuild it and recreate anew. And it's not going to be like it was before, just like those broken pieces. When you put it back together, it's not going to look the same, but it's going to have a new intrinsic value to it. It's going to have a new, different type of beauty. It's going to have a new purpose for it, right? That was last year. It's about just building a solid foundation because now that you broke everything down and you're rebuilding it, but I need it to be rebuilt on something solid for where I have you going next. So because of that, now it's time for you to come into the light. And it's so funny because my name is Carolyn, right? For those of you know, seeing the movie Poltergeist, I've heard this all my life. Come to the light, Carolyn. Come to the light, Carolyn, right? Little did I know that I was really being called by name. Come to the light, Carolyn, right? Come to the light. So this year, it's about coming to the light. It's about being the light. It's about really allowing your light to shine so everyone can see. No longer hide behind your mask. No longer dim your light. No longer diminish yourself. Allow your light to shine and allow your message so you can tell your story, right? Because someone needs to hear it. They need to hear it today because tomorrow they're going to need it. They're going to hear it today, but they're going to understand it tomorrow. Like you said, you saw something, and now that you brought it up, it's going to pop up. And when it does, let me know. A message, something that you seen me do years ago. But yet, now it's just like, oh my gosh, I remember passing you, and now we're at the same bus stop, and we're in a whole different state.
Yes.
It's you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how spirit's like, it's you. Like, it's you. It's you. It's you. So now, oh my gosh, let's see. We got I am a brother's keeper. It says, my heart is weeping for the strife you had to endure to bring forth that knowledge. Wow. Carolyn, thank you for staying strong and living and sharing and having a servant's heart. Wow. Elizabeth, thank you. Wow. You know, sometimes you have to just leave things where they're at. And just based on that, I don't really think there's that much more to say. I don't think there's that much more to say. So is there any final last word or encouragement or something that's on your heart that you wanna share?
That's so funny. Yeah, I've seen other videos or people being interviewed, and they always ask that question. It's so odd for me to be on this side, I guess, with being a listener, being a speaker. And I don't pretend to like have any magic elixirs or silver bullet. Um, but yeah, like you were saying all along, um, we're not alone. Um, we're meant to be where we're meant to be, and we're meant for greatness, and meant for good. And there's a there's a greater story. There's a greater ending to the story that we're in. And so just like, yeah, never lose hope. Um, face the light. Like, fear not, for behold, I am with you. I have called you by name. That's that's I guess that's my parting words for this moment.
That's all I can do is just go. And I love the smiles, both of us. It's like when you can really embrace those moments, it really allows your light to shine, right? And it illuminates. And that's when people says, oh my gosh, your smile was so bright, because that's my light, right? And that's your light. And
Yes.
I hope everyone else is cheesing with us and smiling too. Like, it should have just made everyone feel bubbly inside, right?
Yeah.
And that literally is the intent and the message about, overcoming your fear. Because when you allow the fear to keep you down, keep you bonded, keep you, away from the world, you miss out on so much. You miss out on your own beauty. You miss out on the gift that you have to give to everyone, right? Not
Yes.
just yourself, but to everyone.
Right.
So I want to thank you for, one, having the courage, right? To in growth within yourself, to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm afraid. I don't know how I'm going to make this thing work, but I'm going to fear less until you fear not. So I applaud you for, coming forth and kicking off. How about a great start to 21 by letting your light shine? So proud of you.
Ah, this
Yeah,
is
I know,
okay.
right?
So there's something going on wrong with my phone. I can't hear it now, but I will replay this thing so I can hear it well. Um,
Yeah.
this has been strewn with like so many crazy technological things, but I'm so thankful that I was willing to continue and that you're right there along with me. Like, I'm like, I don't care if I can't see or hear or whatever. We're gonna go through with this. Um, yeah, perseverance, hard work, fear not. Thank you, Carolyn.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I want you to stay
Bye.
stay tuned. So stay. So she left. Okay. So I was going to tell her to stay hang tight. But that's literally what the message is. So thank you, you guys, for tuning in. And I'm looking at, Monique saying, The moment in time, the time that you were broken was in his divine order, and it's to prepare you for the path that you are on. So a prophet in the midst of the storm of this world. And then thank you both being a light for us all. Thank you, Monique. And yeah, so and then I'm pretty sure this book spoke to so many people, so you ladies just don't know what this did for me today. Yeah. Wow. Can't wait to hear it on Thursday. So make sure you guys tune in on Thursday for Rock Truth Queens, where Monique, where I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, will be joining us. Sharing her journey as well, as we do this challenge. But I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in, whether you're watching this live with us, whether you're watching it on a replay. And I hope this really blesses someone out there that is more than just a weight loss challenge, right? It's ordinary people doing ordinary things. I'm an ordinary person doing amazing things, right? By his will. And it's allowing us to stretch. It's allowing us to grow, and it's allowing us to do that together. And that's how we evolve. And I'm just so grateful to all of you for being there continuously and growing in this journey and sharing, the path and what you've seen along the way. So with that, I want everyone to have a wonderful and blessed day. This midday, message. I loved it. It was so perfect. Thank you once again to Liz for following the call, for hearing your name and being the light, and to illuminate for all of us to, and if we really didn't even get a chance to get into why she was so fearful. The group we were on, it was about coming on live and sharing yourself and exposing yourself. And she kind of touched on some of it, the things that really kept her back. But it's about fearing less, and we have to fear less until we fear not. And by doing that, we just remove our mask. And when we remove our mask, no matter what, we have to continue to be magnified in everything that we do. So with that, I want you guys to, what I always tell you, be inspired, be empowered, most importantly, be magnified. Follow me on all social media platforms, Magnify Your Essence, just everything. Come and join the Fierce and Fearless to You Fear Not Weight Loss Challenge. You can literally find us on Facebook. And just, make sure that you have a wonderful, amazing, beautiful day, right? And I was trying to put it up. Oh, here we go. There we go. So if you want to join the weight loss challenge, just go to Bitly. If you can't find it on Facebook, just go to Bitly/fear less, fear not. Just that simple. So once again, be empowered, be inspired. Most importantly, be magnified. Continue to be fierce. Continue to be fearless until you fear not. This is your girl, Carolyn Wilson. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.